So I don't. So we are yet to go live. Okay, so it says, uh, cool. So you had like an eventful weekend.
Yes, it was.
Interesting. I was attending a workshop. So I actually done a 3-day event, a speaking event.
I love attending these kinds of events. And when I was in college, my college used to have a lot of symposiums,
Yeah.
especially focused. Those days, 3G, I am from a telecom background, so those days 3G was a thing. And I don't know how many symposiums were arranged for different parts of 3G. And I used to be, over a period of time, you start feeling that everything is being repeated. Like that's what most of my classmates used to tell me. And I used to go and attend every single one of them. And not only that, there were some for which I would take my notebook and write notes and then try to get business cards from the delegates and reach
Yeah.
back to them, connect over LinkedIn. I really like these kind of sessions. And even over, I think you do a lot. I see that on your
Yeah.
Facebook group. And whenever I get a chance to chat with you, you do a lot of them. And that's when I feel like this girl is doing something good and she's lucky.
Yep. I think yeah, it's about showing up. I wouldn't say, yeah. I mean, I consider myself abundant, not lucky, but I create my luck. So I kind of put myself out there, and in return, I get attracted to these events and host. And again, these events have 6-figure entrepreneurs, multimillionaire speakers. And so
It's
in
so
got to meet them.
inspiring to see such people talk when you listen their stories and all the hardships they overcome. It touches.
Yeah, it just puts you in a very different energy. It just puts you in a very different mindset.
And
Uh,
sometimes I start daydreaming, on when you listen to these kind of events. And even that's good. You get to know about yourself, that what you like, what you don't like, what
yeah.
you or some creative ideas about your life, about your career. I
Yeah,
find
it's
it
pretty awesome.
amusing.
And especially with the coronavirus thing, everything, Soumya, I have been like, these events would have been physically happening in Philadelphia, Canada, Arizona, Chicago, right? And I'm like, within matter of 3-4 days, we are just either in this Zoom room, in this Zoom room. I'm like, oh my God, if I was traveling this much, I couldn't have attended all these events, right? And everybody on the webinars and on the events and on the conferences, everybody's so grateful because now we can just hop in from the Zoom room and can be in these events, which is pretty.
If you realize there was a mental barrier we all have created, that you need to be physically present to get this
Yeah,
done effectively and all of that, and actually nothing matters. It's just, you should be able to communicate somehow, whether it's video, non-video, emails. The world is still running. There was a point all the major countries were locked down and everything continued. Like most of the thing, I shouldn't say everything, like
mm,
were sectors of economy that were totally shut down, but for most part of it, economy was still running.
yeah.
And that was without any prep, without any plan, without anything. Like if we plan to design something like locking down all these countries in the world for, let's say, 3 weeks, it is possible. I say it is possible.
Yeah, on that note, let's go live. I don't want to keep you
Sure,
hanging
sure,
out
sure,
here.
sure, sure, sure,
We
sure.
are all set. So I'm gonna hit go live and let me see. We are in the group. Yes. Okay. Hi all. I hope you're doing well. With me today is my guest Somya Kalra. And if you're wondering what's happening, well, I'm launching a new segment today. And the segment is called Spotlight Me. So if you're joining me on live, I'm so glad you are here. If you're watching on live, welcome. If you're watching on replay, post in the comments, drop a fun GIF, okay, so that know you are here. So, guys, I'm starting a new segment in the group called Spotlight Me. And the idea is to bring you on the forefront and put a spotlight on you. Okay. And it really was from the conversation with Somya, where she was sharing how amazing it has been for her in this group. And I said, you know what, Somya, we need to get you on the Facebook Live. I need to share your experiences and we need to talk about this more. So she really was the initiator of this segment. And I just wrapped up it with a cool name. So welcome, and let's get more into the segment. And I'm gonna share more about what the segment is and what I'm thinking about, who are the speakers are gonna be. But first of all, let's go and welcome our first guest, Somya Kalra. Hi, Somya. How are you doing?
I'm doing very good today. I'm so excited to talk to you. And this is funny to know that our last conversation gave you this idea to start a new segment. This is good. I feel so good about this. And you know what? I'm someone who's labeled as coming up with new and wacky ideas in my office as well. my,
Awesome.
my previous manager had once said we were having an offsite planned, and we were looking out for games, and that's when he planned a corporate games that people can come up with wacky ideas like Somya comes up. And he told me, you have to participate and you have to win this game and all that. So yeah.
Pretty awesome, right? So here's the thing, okay? I have known Soumya. So Soumya, you were the, I don't know if you remember, you were the first few members of this group. And it has been a while, right? So, and she was also the first few people I connected with, like the very first time. And that has been the longevity of Soumya being in this group. And so I really realized that if I want to kick off this segment, which is going to spotlight all the members in this group, why not with somebody who has been in this group for such a long time? So I'm really pleased and honored that you decided and you said, yes, I want to go into this, and please interview me on the Facebook Live. Because I know people who, like, you know what, don't interview me on the Facebook Live, don't show my videos. So I'm really thankful for you saying yes for this.
Oh, I'm thankful for you for giving me this place, sharing this space with you, and giving me the credit of your one segment. That means a lot to me.
Sure. So let's kick off this. Okay. I think so. The idea of this segment, Soumya, is really to, put a spotlight on the amazing members of this group, and to really, I mean, I have couple of, you can say, qualifying thing. One is like, you can share your experience in this group. If you have worked or connected with me, how has been your experience with me? Has this group, provided any difference in your life? And secondly, to really, celebrate the members in this group, their amazing victories, their wins in their life. Are they doing something different? It can be anything. It can be, what, I just become a healthier version of myself. I got a new job, I got promoted, I published a new book. So it can be anything. And so that really is the idea of this segment, and which really puts a spotlight on the members. So I'm going to kick off this segment with this first question. How has been your experience in this group?
It has been an amazing experience, Monica, as you know, but others don't. That I have seen you starting from when the group was it had very few members, and there were all sorts of questions we used to talk about. What matters to women? You remember, we had those questions, and from there coming up to 2,200 members on your group. That's amazing journey. And what one thing I find best about Monica and this group especially is when she shares her live video sessions, the topics are so simple, something which women of our age or women of or I should say profile is not the right word, but people who have that kind, who are traveling from a different country, residing in a different country, working, non-working, but are going through the same challenges of life. We all think the same problem. We all react to situations in a similar way, but we all think that, oh, it's just me who is thinking this. And then when somebody comes up live on a Facebook without any connection between the two, you're talking about the same problem, and then with some resolution, and you look about how this person is handling it, it comes as a relief sometimes, it comes as a creative idea sometimes. You get the help, basically what you're looking for at that moment. And if not anything else, you get enough to console yourself. Oh yeah, like I'm not bad, or it's happening with everyone, so I'm okay, you
There
know.
is someone out there who is going through a shit similar to
The
myself.
same, yeah. And sometimes you feel, when you listen to the other's story, you feel so sorry for them, you know. Sometimes that has also happened, and oh my God, how can I help that one person? But sometimes you are able to, sometimes you're not. And one of the video which has, I still remember, it was April 27, Malika.
Hmm.
You posted a video and you said, women, go and do what you want to do. Imagine yourself 3 months from now. I still remember your words. Imagine yourself from 3 months from now and do today, do spend 15 minutes towards that goal and think what you. And I was making my baby sleep, and I was like, she was sleeping in my lap, and I had my headphones, looking at your video. And I was like, I just closed my eyes and I was imagining, where do I want to be? I was like, okay, I want to have a better health. I want to do something for my workout. And for the past few days, I was screaming about, no, because of COVID, I can't go. Because of work, I can't go with this and that and whatnot. And then I'm like, okay, I can go out for a walk for 15 minutes, no matter what the temperatures are, no matter what the situation is. 15 minutes is a reasonable thing. I went out, I stepped out, and I am now walking. For the past 3 months, I go out for a walk every 45 minutes. Like not every 45 minutes, but I go out for a walk 45 minutes every single day. That is how I stepped up. And I remember the first day I walked out, I was tired after 15 minutes. And now I am comfortably walking at a good speed for 45 minutes. And that's the power of continuity. That's the power of reminder you give me. It's not a big thing. Like, we all know that we should be doing something for ourselves. But somebody says it so convincingly, when it's coming right from the heart in the right time, it just strikes you. And that's the impact that I have felt with this group, with the Monica's live videos. Another incident I remember, you were talking about, imagine yourself, what do you want to achieve in a couple of next months. And that's when I thought, on my work profile, I want to be a topic expert on this particular topic. And remember what, like, that day I was even scared to imagine that I can be an expert. And today I'm working on two proposals. And right now, when I was telling you that I should so much work to be done, it's all related to that topic, and people have started identifying me as someone, not a expert, but still a go-to person for this topic. So that's the impact of, I really feel like it was a very nice and well said video conducted by you, which made a strong impact on me. This is just one video, and then there have been other incidents when we were talking about gratitude journal, if you remember our first session. So I do not write the journals every single day,
Hmm.
but I still try to write whenever I can. And a lot of people have earlier told me that being grateful helps, writing helps. I was like, okay, yeah. And I used to pick up those habits and try to do that for a couple of days. And then I was like, okay, and then stop doing it. And then I shared this part with you. And then you said, okay, everybody, when you're forming new habits, we all fall out of it. But then when you want to, like, don't just focus on that, I'm not able to continue this every single day. Just do it whenever you can. And I feel good about it now. I do it whenever I can. And sometimes I'm able to do 5 days in a row, 10 days in a row, and then not doing it for another 5 days. But sometimes I do it alternate days. So whatever I'm able to do, I do it, and do it without stressing over it. That's the best part, you know.
Yeah.
So I have personally benefited a lot from your group. I would say, what one thing we can do more, or my brain, as I told you, I keep on thinking, and
Sure.
it keeps me throwing some ideas. Like, I would encourage all women to participate more and more, and that's how we can benefit from each other, learn from each other. Like, even your Facebook group that we have, some women don't want to, I don't know, how comfortable everyone is talking about their personal stories or writing about their challenges, but it's a safe group. Like, even if I hate somebody, I'm you can just ignore me, or if you don't like my comments, you can just ignore me. or if you get some advice, you can pick it up. So it's, I am kind of a person who believes in like opening up helps, and encouraging other women is I really encouraging. And you know, that women's sisterhood thing is very close to my heart. So wherever I can encourage, help someone, or seek support as well, I am up for it always and always.
Yeah. I don't think anybody can see that. I have little like shed of tears in my eyes, because it's amazing what you just said. You know, it's when I do the Facebook lives, and even when I created this group, you know, this it was a very intuition based action. You know, I didn't like plan it on the paper, I'm going to go like this and this. It really was coming from a place of my heart, because I was missing a community. I couldn't find friends like me, I couldn't find people who were thinking like me, you know. And so, you know what, I can't find it, let me gonna create it. And this community, Soumya, has really been my benchmark, because now that I introduce myself on many platforms, you know, including the book I wrote, including the chapter in that book I wrote. I shouldn't say the book, I should say the chapter I wrote. And that chapter brought me on the forefront of a big map. You know, and the publisher who read my chapter, this group was the starting point.
Mhm.
And I have so much to be thankful with for each member in this group. People generally don't realize that, when because we join so many Facebook groups and so many communities, you know, online, offline, meetup groups, but we don't realize that the person who started that thing, you
Mm.
know, was actually counting on your participation, is actually counting on you showing up, because that there was an idea in their head, and they just did that action. So whenever somebody likes you and other members shows up in the group, you know, they just get themselves known that, hey, I'm here, and what you are doing is making a difference in my life. It's like I'm golden. You know, it's like every effort, every tear, every day of questioning and answering and doubting has resulted in this. So,
You know, they always say, I'm sorry to interrupt here,
yeah,
Malika. They
sure.
always say giving to others is such a blissful feeling. And I feel you, when you are giving knowingly or unknowingly, whatever, but you are always in a giving state when you do so much work for this group. Maybe people, we all experience it, but we do not come up to say that.
Mm.
And that's what making it go in the right direction. And even like as you were talking about, I just felt like I just quoted two incident, but there were more. Like you were talking to you used to do those speaker sessions where I got introduced to Lena Kurian because of whose help I'm able to get my dream job. Then I remember there was another lady. After I got the job, you had a session where you invited somebody, some lady who had a very powerful position in an IT corporate sector. And I asked her, like, how do you, I was pregnant that time, and I asked her,
Oh, Pallavi. Pallavi is still, I think she's in the group. Yes, she's in the group, but she's like on my contact list. She's the biggest cheerleader of mine. Yeah.
yeah. So she told me, I was so hesitant. How will I travel and do this job? This job is so demanding, and I'm hesitant for this and that. And she just told me, kick out all of your negative thoughts. And every single time I have these work life balance is becoming a challenge, or I have to babysit more than to focus on my work and those things. I just remember that thing. So, you know, just one line from one person sometimes sticks with you. And
Mm.
that's the impact. And that is what we are actually looking for. And, you know, it cannot come from somebody who has not gone through those situations.
Mm.
And the reason you are able to communicate, like conduct this group so well, because most of the women who have come to a different country and face certain challenges, you have gone through those challenges yourself, so you are able to relate, and the advice that you give becomes so relevant and so actionable.
Mm. I
That's
love that. Yeah.
yeah.
I love that. It's so amazing, Soumya, that I never thought that that is the advice I'm giving. I just gave what I felt like giving because, as you rightly said, I went through the challenges and I'm still going through these challenges. And right now, these challenges have shifted for me because now I am putting myself out there in front of the world, in front of the entrepreneurs, speakers, authors who don't understand who the heck is immigrant spouse. They don't understand what does it mean to leave your country and to get relocated to a new country. So for them it's a completely different new world, completely different new story. And that is where I find myself a little challenging because I feel like, well, I don't, here's my point, I don't see many Indian women on the speaking stages, as authors, as people who are sharing their stories, right? And that is where I feel short because I'm like, okay, I have to let them understand. You have no idea how many times I have been told, your English is so good, you are so well spoken, and I'm like,
I've
listen,
also got that. Yes.
you know this is this English is my first language, and so is for many women who you see in America and any other part of the world who don't look like you, but that does not mean that we can't speak English. And
You're not good. Like we all, like most of the people or schools in India today teach you English up to a level where you can actually communicate, even if you're not that fluent or not. So what I have, one of the thoughts that I had, mental blockage, I would say I had before coming to US is like there's an accent and there's this and there's that and people are fluent and all those. It's not that my English is not good, but it's just that you have all those thoughts when you before landing to a new country. And when I came here, I realized that everybody speaks in a way they are comfortable in.
mm,
Obviously native speakers are more comfortable, but anybody, US is a land of immigrants, right? So anybody who's coming from different land or a different country, they speak English in a way that they're comfortable. So if I speak in a certain way, I shouldn't be ashamed about it, or I shouldn't be feeling any doubt or any kinds of thoughts around that. I am what I am, and I'm able to communicate my thought. That's all. That's the purpose of the language.
exactly. And on that note, I know we are digressing from the segment, but I think it's so important to address this. You also have to understand that the minute you own the way you show up in the world, okay, that is the moment when the other person also gets it. When you stay in that dabbling state of, I don't know whether I'm good enough, I don't know if somebody will understand me, if they will get my accent, your energy of shifting and doubting and dabbling will be conveyed to any other person, American, non-American, European, German, I don't care. So the minute you start owning it, that is the time when you start showing up in the world confidently. You just tell them, there are so many times that was and I'm talking about, because I am attending these, other various summits and events, as I was sharing with you. I don't Many times I'm the only Indian woman in the entire summit, and I'm talking about 900 and 700 people from the world. and
Mhm.
and I'm often asked, oh, your accent is interesting, and I get that compliment or comment, and I understand that part. I said, yeah, I am from India, and I'm right now in the States, and this is what I'm doing, and I'm absolutely proud of the fact that there are more than million women who leave their home countries and get into a new country for marriage, career, or love. And you won't believe that the conviction which I share this, that is the exact thing they are looking for. So now they can see beyond my accent, they can see beyond
Exactly.
anything else I'm doing, right? So it's really important. Don't worry about the how do I show up or how am I speaking. As long as you know what you're speaking, it doesn't matter. The other person gets it. So yeah, moving forward, you've shared this amazing, beautiful experience. I know that you must be part of other Facebook groups also, right? Like other, not just Facebook groups, other communities, other meetup groups. I'm curious, and I'm sure you are. What is the difference you have found between this group when you find, like, whenever you log into this group, them, they, I don't know, what is your feeling? Are you expecting something? How are you feeling about it?
To be honest, I am part of other Facebook group, but as you are saying and talking, I'm not even able to collect five different names of those Facebook groups.
You know,
So this is the difference. One Facebook group helps me reach my goals in life, and the other Facebook group, I don't even know the name.
Yeah.
So that is, I don't think, is there any other better way I can answer
Oh
this?
my God, that is no, that is the most beautiful
So I remember, and the thing is, Malika, I would be very honest with you. The the thing that attracted me to join your group was your curiosity to ask questions and sincerely wanting to know what others are feeling.
answer.
And that's what I remember, a 12 or 13 pointer reply I gave you when you asked what women want, something on those lines, what women are looking for. And I just couldn't stop myself. I was like, I need a hell lot of help. And somebody's asking me, what do you need? I'm like, I'm going to write all of it. And that's where we started. To be honest, I can only remember one more group in Facebook where they talk about selling your art. And I know nothing gets sold over there.
Yeah, yeah. No, I can relate to that, and thank you for saying that. That means a lot of that means world to me.
I think to say it in another way, it's very precisely capturing the problem,
mm,
which nobody else. It's capturing a very niche problem, which nobody else has captured before. And the reason that you can really form a personal connection and seek help or a comfort to share something, that is something very unique about your group. I can't go to any other group and have a conversation like this the way I'm having. The other day I was having some thoughts in my head, some puzzle thoughts. When you want to share it with somebody but don't know whom to share it with, I thought I need to talk to this girl once again.
mm. Bless. Thank you. Thank you. So honored to know your answer. I'm not gonna let you, be on the live for long. I know you are tuning in from your work day. So thank you for doing that first. So just one last question. If you have to share one message to our listeners, anything for the members of the group, what is that one message could be?
Women, don't hold yourself back. Whether you have something to share, please come forward and share. This is the platform. Whether you want to seek help, this is the platform, right? I'm not like, it sounds like I'm advertising for you. It's not. It's coming from the bottom of my heart, Monica. I, you know, just like I was telling you 2 minutes back, I had a list of questions or list of topics where I wanted help. Had I not come forward, I would not have connected to your group. This wouldn't have been a reality today. But you have to first realize that you need help and you can come forward. And whatever is, when maybe somebody, it was my need to get help on those topics, and it came as an idea for you. So it was like a mutual help. It turned out to be a mutual help. I you i told you to, I need help, or somebody who can help me to clear interviews and all, and you brought a guest speaker, we got connected. That speaker, that career coach, helped me to clear my interviews, and today I have done work with so many reputed companies, but this is my dream job. I feel so good about this, and I always keep on thanking you and that career coach, that if you guys have not been there, this wouldn't have been a reality.
Yeah.
So coming forward is the big step, and it clarifies your thought. If I come forward and list down 10 problems that I'm facing, or say 10 problem to Malika, it gives me clarity that what am I thinking in my head, and then I get some more opinion from you, and then that could, to you it might be a different way of looking at things, and you can, it might be a common problem for many others. So come forward, share your experiences, stories, problems, learnings, whatever, and help each other. And we all talk about that. Women don't support each other, women don't empower each other, women don't encourage each other. This is the age we should change it. And it takes nothing, I don't have to step out of my house, I don't have to do anything. I just have to open up and speak. If you are not comfortable speaking, write it.
Show up. Yeah, I think that's exactly what you're saying, is that show up.
Yeah,
Just
don't
start showing up. Yeah.
not for anybody else, but
For
it gives you
yourself.
so much confidence, your clarity, your self-esteem, everything improves. That's what I feel. Suppressing yourself is only going to give you some more negative emotions, some more complexity in your thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's truly appreciated. Thank you for saying that. And for anyone listening to this and they're like, what they are doing, are they advertising for the group? I just want to make sure that no, we are not. This is a segment called Spotlight You, and it's a new segment, and where I'm inviting my group members to really share their experiences being in this group and their wins and their victories, achievements. And it really is a way to put you on the spotlight, put you on the limelight. And Soumya has been kind enough because she had some amazing experiences being in this group and connecting with me and working with me. And that is her part of experience, what she's sharing. So we are glad that she's doing that. But it isn't not in any ways any kind of advertisement or any kind of promotional kind of material. It's
Come
just
on, Malika, you are an owner.
friends
You can.
talking. Sorry.
It's fair for you to advertise. It's fair for me not to.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, I just want to make sure that people just get it, and I often tell to myself that you don't have to like convince and clarify, because people who have been in this group and people who have been seeing my journey, because I really was this person, Soumya, that if you go back and check my first Facebook live. So I did my first Facebook live is my welcome post. It's still there, and that really was a Facebook live audio. It was not a video. I just couldn't go on a video. So I said, and I was so getting this pumped up. I was getting so much pumped up from inside to speak to my members. And I remember it was like 100 members who have joined this group. Yeah. You want to take a sip of water?
yeah. Sorry about that.
It's fine. Yeah, so my Facebook first live was an audio. I couldn't gather the courage to go on a video. And it was so interesting that on that audio, if I still go on the message, there was so many women who wrote that I loved the way the passionately you shared your stuff and why you are doing this group. And that is how my point is, I went back and then I went once I finished recording myself, I told to myself, oh God, this felt so amazing. This felt so good. The moment I decided to show up for myself, when I hold it for the first time, the microphone, I knew that this has opened up a completely new journey for me, opened up a completely new door. And from, I think now I've spoken at almost around 15 online summits with amazing world renowned entrepreneurs and speakers. I just got I got become a published author just couple of few weeks back. Now I have a podcast. Now I'm getting out there in the world, and it wouldn't have been there if I wouldn't have done that first Facebook audio or whatever live, or
Yeah.
it wouldn't have started that. And my point is that I have so much to be thankful for this community. I have, and that this is really is my way of inviting my members and giving back, and really asking them what is the improvement.
I'm so sorry, Malika.
Yeah, no worries. Just take a couple of sips and water, and I can still keep talking to them. You can mute yourself. That's fine.
I'm running out of.
Oh, okay. Is that okay? Cool. We're gonna be anyways wrapping up. So here's the thing, guys. If you would like to be featured, and this is a new segment, as I said, Spotlight Me, you can apply to get to be featured as a guest speaker on this segment, and you can send an email to mlkgpt@gmail.com. I'm gonna also share the email ID in the comments. Or if you know someone, a friend, a girlfriend, a woman, who should be on this Spotlight Me segment, and we can interview her. She's just doing some amazing, crazy things in her life and winning and achieving, and that she is a perfect guest to be on this segment. You know what? Share the group link with her, invite her, and yeah, let's join her this group, and I would love to feature your friend or you. So send me an email and I'll share the link in the comments. And yeah, and so That's all. And yeah, I think I'm just loving this segment. It's always good to know the good things you are doing. Who doesn't like the compliments and all of that? I love this. It's like, oh my god, I'm so great. Kind of feeling I'm getting after this segment. So this is amazing. Thank you for doing this.
And any of my girlfriend wants to comes up and how can I do this? How can I, I tell there's a girl who did this. She came from India to US. She lost her job for this. And I tell you the entire story, how you started and where you are today. And some days I will do something great to interview you, Malika. Maybe I'll have a Facebook channel and I'll interview you.
Awesome. I would love to. You know what? Here's the point, Soumya. Listen, I am now on a mission to help transform, rewrite 10,000 immigrant expat, diplomat, military spouses. Women who left their home countries to be with their spouse in a new country, and my mission is to do that by 2025. And the number I've given to myself is 10,000. And when I say that, it can be anything. I would love to have more Indian women and more friends and like-minded people like you doing some amazing things in the world, right, where we can collaborate. I mean, I have this big dream and vision of being on Oprah Winfrey stage, on Tony Robbins stage of speaking, and I know it's gonna be true. But I would love to have 4 or 5 more friends of mine. I mean, how amazing it would be to have, just imagine having women from this group, and we are all representing, women who actually left their home countries and did all of this blah 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 and are speaking on Tony Robbins stage. I mean, this is mind blowing, right? That is exactly what I'm talking about.
Something why I feel so good about your group is, one thing is I'm very close to this thing of I said that before as well. As women we are so much suppressed by the society, or we let ourselves being suppressed by the society, and this is the bit we can do to undo that or to reverse that. And that's what makes me feel like this topic is so close to my heart that I want to, if you were an NGO, I would have, volunteered. If you were an organization, I would have joined you. If you're open for partnership, consider me.
Yeah, I am, and you would be surprised how many times I have been asked this question. And I always say that, listen, I'm not hiring a team right now, but I know I will be in future very soon. And I also have this thing where I will be giving back. So
That's why, Monica, I know you can be a good employer. That's why I keep on impressing you by giving you wonderful ideas.
I love that. I love the way you just seeded that. But I know I will be hiring as a team, and I know that my team will consist of amazing, beautiful, great women like you and me. And I also have this vision of having so there are businesses which gives back, right? So my giving back of charity would be either hiring or giving back to communities, and it's there in the vision, and I know it's gonna get created. And yeah, it it's very much needed, man. It's very much needed. I'm just tired and sick of people complaining, people just making fun of immigrant spouses specifically. And if I have to go like really specific, Indian immigrant spouses, I'm just tired and done.
People make
uh,
fun of them.
what's that?
People make fun of immigrants.
Not just immigrants, I'm talking about immigrant women, immigrant spouses.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like people make fun of immigrant women.
Yeah, I mean, you can check other Facebook groups, you can check other communities where people just post some crap thing, MLM and all of that, and they just join us and we're gonna give you a, I don't know, $5 hour job, or I don't know what's all about it. And I see it's just there. Yeah,
I was not aware of this piece. Like
yeah, it's
this
um,
like kind of angered me to the like, go like why?
yeah, it's desperation, but at the same time they just think that, listen, Soumya, I I did my master's here in the US. I studied further. I did my master's. I was on a student visa in Chicago. I went on to work with Fortune 500 American companies. I was on an H-1B visa. I mean, I've done and seen everything. So when you tell me and come and tell me, and anybody, and not just me, anybody else, oh, so you just were a gold digger, you just came here in a new country along with your spouse, right? That is not the narrative I want the world to understand about a women who left their home countries. You and me are and were established professionals in our home countries, right? So I was not a damsel in distress waiting for my knight in shining armor to rescue me. Do you
It
know what I
requires,
mean?
it requires much more strength to be in another country than to be in
Exactly.
our own country. I totally relate with that part that people don't get what we go through.
Exactly. And here's the
You have
problem.
no
uh,
emotional security, you have no financial security, there's nobody to help you if something happens to your health, don't have a career, and there's no way you can build all that. And wherein, if you were in your own home country, you had all of those things in your plate.
Exactly. And my point is that, listen, I've worked with some amazing women who were doing some great thing in India, in back of their home countries, engineers, technicians, scientists, right? So they were not damsel in distress waiting for someone to rescue them and bring them to, some foreign country. That is not the case. And what bugs me is that when I find men and women judging people who actually came on a certain visa in a new country, that bugs me the most, because when you come on a student visa, and listen, I have been on all these visas, so I have gone through the journey. But when you come to study in a new country, you have a freaking plan. Okay, but when you come after marriage, you don't have a effing plan. Okay, you don't know where the hell are you
When
going.
you are in a college, you have your friend group. When
Yeah.
you have something to look forward 2 years down the line. You are maybe going to college 9 to 5, but you know what you have to do beyond 9 to 5.
Hmm.
Have a plan to wake, like a reason to wake up the next day. But when you are in marriage, when you come on a visa on marriage, all this is not there. You don't have that friends community. You don't
Exactly.
have you don't. It's so difficult to mingle with the society.
Exactly. And then you're questioning yourself. You have this self-doubt. You have a new marriage. And listen, guys, you just think, well, they're just like bantering about Indian spouses. No, I have been in conversations where an American spouse moved to Britain, she moved to Canada, she moved to India. I've talked with diplomat spouses who moved with their diplomat husbands in Japan and China and Korea. And every person who is moving for their spouse, men or women, they go through a
The same
transformation.
thing.
They
Yeah.
go through a journey which is beyond words, where not where their spouse can't relate to that person, and their friends don't understand what the crap they are going, right? So
Nobody understands. Your parents don't understand.
your
Your
friends
spouse is not
parents
understand.
don't get it, and not to blame them, because they have not gone a journey themselves, right? It
Everything is different. The food habits, the climate, the society, the social norms.
Yeah.
Everything is different, and you have no way to adapt to those things. So you feel yourself. It's very natural to feel you are out of the group or out of the society.
Exactly. And then when that person builds themselves up, like Somya did, like I did, like the rest of the women in this group, and they rebuild themselves, because you're rebuilding yourself,
Then
okay?
nothing can stop them.
Then nothing can stop you. And then when you become that person, you just can't take that any other crap of telling me that, oh,
Yeah.
oh, it was easy for you. No, it was not. Oh, you just became lucky. No, it was not. I have seen people who can't adjust when they go from black coffee to white to cappuccino.
Exactly.
I
Very true.
changed. I don't even recognize the coffee I used to have.
Yeah.
you know, it's just overwhelming changes and transformation you go through, all because you said yes to that one person.
Just one decision. Just one decision. That
Yeah,
changed
because
everything.
you took that decision. Yeah, so we as a society, as a community, especially women like you and me, we need to come together and tell the world, listen guys, enough is enough. We are amazing, beautiful, talented creatures who actually sacrificed, who are brave enough to get that decision and to stick with that decision. We committed to the entire process, and we are here rebuilding ourselves, writing our new stories, putting yourself in a new job market in a new country. Okay, when you are still doubting your accent, it is a hell lot of brave step. it is not simple and easy. And to then get into a new job, as I know that Soumya is in Canada right now, she is in a new job right now, right? Soumya, it's kudos to you. It doesn't come like it just happened like that. I can clearly see you woke up like at till 4 a.m., sent your resumes, did your interview part, right? So, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So the point I was trying to tell you again was when I moved from US to Canada, it didn't feel anything this different. I didn't
yeah,
feel any difference because culture is same, the society works in a similar fashion. There are very fine differences, but there is a difference between a developed country and a developing country, and
yeah.
that difference you don't see here. But when you come from India to US or from a developing country to a developed country,
Hmm.
there's so many things which change every single aspect of even how your light switch turns on and off, even that changes. How your fan rotates, even that changes. Everything is upside down.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I know,
It
yeah,
felt like moving from US to Canada. I just felt like I moved to another state other than the paperwork.
yeah,
It doesn't make any difference because you're still in the same continent. Like
yeah.
I just had drove 7 hours by car to get here. But imagine the distance from India to
Yeah,
US.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. No, I think what the point I'm trying to make is
Yeah,
that,
yeah. I had my own journey. I know. I was
yeah,
just trying to
that
illustrate.
yeah, that it's a completely different journey. And I'll just give you a quick example. And we always think that, I always used to think that, oh, if I'm coming from a developing country to a developed country, there has to be changes. I have seen people who have gone through another developed country, so they have gone from America to, let's say, Germany, to Italy. And in some cases, in fact, this morning I saw a post where an African American woman, she moved from China to US. So she's a US citizen. She was living in China for many, many years. She has a career over there. And because of coronavirus, she had to leave China and to come back to the US. And in her Facebook post, and in fact, I'm going to share that Facebook post with you. It's so amazing. She actually wrote that I'm going through depression because I don't have my tribe anymore, my friends over here anymore, right? And I was like, man, just imagine, she's born and brought up here, but her journey back to her home, but now because she doesn't has that familiarity, that friends network, she's going through a similar journey like you and I have gone through. So it really is not about the person, about the ethnicity, about the gender. It really is about the fact that your mind do not recognize anything familiar now outside of you. It
It's
just triggers you in that state of, I don't know who I'm anymore, I don't know where I am anymore. So yeah,
I
it's
know.
pretty interesting.
I'm so glad you are doing this wonderful job, and I would
Yeah,
like to thank you on behalf of all the women. Like, it's a very noble thing that you're doing.
thank
We're
you.
glad to have
uh,
you.
Thank you so much, Somya, for your time. I'm gonna let you go. I promised you to leave you by 4, and we are already like reaching that top of the clock. So thank you so much for doing this, and I'm gonna see you more in the group, okay? And
Oh
yeah,
yeah, sure. My pleasure.